9 Star Trek characters who ran away to Starfleet. For some Star Trek characters, running away to Starfleet is a dream that's worth pursuing. The utopia of Star Trek's United Federation of Planets isn't available to non-member worlds, so growing up outside the Federation increases one's chances of living a harder life and wanting to run away to Starfleet. Starfleet welcomes cadets openly, but residents of non-Federation worlds must be sponsored by a command-level Starfleet officer in order to enroll in Starfleet Academy, especially if their people are current or former antagonists to the Federation, like Orions, Romulans, or Ferengi. In every Star Trek show, the opportunity exists for Starfleet officers to make a difference, regardless of their origin. Characters might run away to Starfleet when they long to connect with others or explore beyond their homes, but don't have the opportunities where they're at. Starfleet values mean these people can be themselves without question and enjoy the benefits of a post-scarcity society that embraces difference as a rule. For these Star Trek characters, running away to Starfleet means they can live a better life with more opportunities, where they don't have to be stifled by ill-fitting circumstances. Star Trek Lower Decks Season 2, Episode 7, Where Pleasant Fountains Lie, reveals that Lt. Commander Andorithio Andy Billups, the USS Cerritos' chief engineer, is the prince of Star Trek's Renaissance fair planet, Hesperia, and will be its king upon becoming sexually active. Life on Hesperia is frustrating because Billups is a great engineer who hates that Hesperian culture is covered in a veneer of pseudo-medieval aesthetics, despite being post-war, and Billups would rather call things what they are. Between preferring practical applications of engineering and escaping the pressure of ruling a planet, it's no wonder Billups joined Starfleet. In Star Trek Pickard, Elnor chooses to attend Starfleet Academy after being inspired by Admiral Jean-Luc Pickard and Commander Raffi Musiker. As a Romulan refugee, Elnor was raised by the Coet Malat, Romulan warrior nuns devoted to lost causes and a philosophy of absolute candor. As a man, Elnor can't officially join the all-female Coet Malat, but Elnor still binds himself to Pickard's search for Soji Asha, Issa Briones, as Kalankai, the champion of a lost cause. After being released from Pickard's cause, Elnor considers Starfleet his best option, and Elnor becomes the first full-blooded Romulan in Starfleet. After escaping as the sole survivor of a Gorn attack on her family's colony ship, the SS Puget Sound, Layan Noonien Singh, Christina Chong, was rescued by Starfleet officers, one of whom was Commander Una Chin Riley, also known as Number 1, Rebecca Romijn. The destruction of the colony meant that Layan needed a place to go, and the Starfleet officers who rescued Layan provided an opportunity as well as a fresh start. Layan Noonien Singh was inspired to go into Starfleet security as a response to living through the Gorn attack, with hope that Layan could protect others like herself. In the expansive universe of Star Trek, Starfleet serves as a beacon of exploration, peacekeeping, and scientific discovery. Yet for many characters, it becomes an escape and opportunity to flee the limitations, conflicts, or traumas of their past lives. Here are 9 characters who, in one way or another, ran away to Starfleet, seeking refuge, redemption, or simply a new path among the stars. 1. James T. Kirk. James T. Kirk, the iconic captain of the USS Enterprise, was always destined for greatness, but his journey to Starfleet was fueled by a rebellious need to escape his troubled youth. Born in Riverside, Iowa, Kirk's early years were marked by tension with his stepfather and a profound sense of restlessness. He ran away from the life expected of him, a future of mediocrity, and enlisted in Starfleet. With the guidance of mentors like Captain Christopher Pike and a thirst for adventure, Kirk transformed into the daring captain known for cheating the Kobayashi Maru test and defying impossible odds. For Kirk, Starfleet wasn't just a career, it was the escape route from a directionless existence and a place where he could find purpose and leadership. 2. Spock's journey to Starfleet was both a rejection and an embrace of his identity. As a half-human, half-Vulcan, Spock always felt the pressure to conform to Vulcan ideals of logic and emotional suppression, particularly from his father, Sarek. But Spock's human side, embodied in his emotions and curiosity, yearned for something more. His decision to join Starfleet was an act of rebellion against his Vulcan heritage and his father's wishes, choosing a path that would allow him to balance his two natures. In Starfleet, Spock found the opportunity to explore his human emotions while also upholding the Vulcan ideals of logic. He ran away from the rigid expectations of Vulcan society and in doing so, he became one of the most iconic figures in Starfleet history. 3. Jean-Luc Pickard. Captain Jean-Luc Pickard's rise to command is a story of personal redemption. Before joining Starfleet, Pickard was a reckless, impulsive young man prone to bar fights and making hasty decisions. After a near-death experience following a brawl that left him with an artificial heart, Pickard recognized the need to escape his self-destructive path. He sought discipline and structure in Starfleet, where he found a new sense of purpose and dignity. Starfleet allowed Pickard to flee the youthful recklessness that once defined him, and he emerged as a wise, measured leader who valued diplomacy over conflict, forever seeking knowledge and peace. 4. 7 of 9. Annika Hansen. Born Annika Hansen, 7 of 9 was assimilated by the Borg as a child, losing her humanity to the collective. When she was rescued by Captain Janeway and the crew of the USS Voyager, 7 was forced to confront her traumatic past and rediscover her individuality. In a way, her integration into Voyager's crew was an escape from the cold, unfeeling existence of the Borg. 7 of 9 ran away to Starfleet in the sense that she sought refuge from the Borg's oppressive control and found a new purpose among the Voyager crew. Her journey became one of reclaiming her humanity and learning to balance her Borg knowledge with the compassion and freedom Starfleet offered. 5. Ro'Laren's decision to join Starfleet was born out of desperation. A Bajoran refugee, Ro grew up during the Cardassian occupation of Bajor, which left her traumatized and distrustful of authority. After a mission gone wrong that resulted in the deaths of her crewmates, Ro's Starfleet career was marred by disgrace, and she spent time in a Federation penal colony. Yet she found a second chance under Captain Pickard, who believed in her potential. For Ro, Starfleet became both a burden and an escape. While she often struggled with its rules and principles, it allowed her to flee the horrors of her past and gave her a chance to serve something greater than herself. 6. Tom Paris. Tom Paris's journey to Starfleet was a path of redemption after a life of mistakes. The son of an admiral, Paris grew up with high expectations, but quickly found himself disillusioned by authority. After a reckless piloting incident that cost the lives of his crewmates, he was expelled from Starfleet and turned to a life of crime. However, Captain Janeway gave him a second chance aboard the USS Voyager, where Paris slowly redeemed himself. For Paris, Starfleet was his way of escaping his troubled past and becoming the officer he was meant to be. Voyager's journey in the Delta Quadrant gave him a fresh start, allowing him to prove his worth and find a place where he belonged. 7. Kira Nerys did not exactly run away to Starfleet in the traditional sense, but her transition from a Bajoran resistance fighter to the liaison officer aboard Deep Space Nine was a form of escape. As a former terrorist fighting against the Cardassian occupation of Bajor, Kira was steeped in violence and survival instincts. Her role in Starfleet allowed her to step away from the brutality of her past and embrace a new role as a diplomat and leader. Starfleet became a way for Kira to escape the war-torn identity she had known for so long and help Bajor transition into a peaceful future. 8. Nog, the first Ferengi to join Starfleet, ran away from the limited life his culture had to offer. As the son of Ram, a mechanic, and nephew to Kirk, a bar owner, Nog was expected to follow in their footsteps and pursue profit. However, Nog saw beyond the confines of Ferengi society and sought something greater. He ran away from his culture's expectations, pursuing education and service in Starfleet. Starfleet gave Nog the opportunity to escape the profit-driven mentality of the Ferengi and instead focus on discipline and growth and contributing to a cause larger than himself.